Making new friendships as an adult can be more difficult than it was when we were children. So, I have some tips to help you increase your social circle and increase your friendships as an adult. Hi, I'm Lori Hayes. Welcome back to our channel where we discuss motivational and uplifting tips and information to help us be a better self. Let's dive right in because this is an important topic that I hear a lot of people who say they struggle with this, especially women. So, one of the first things that I recommend is to pursue your interests. So, if you like to run, you like to hike, let's say I'm a writer, I like to write. So, join groups such as meetup groups that do these do your passions and do your love, because it's easier to make friends with people that you have something in common with, like a common interest. So I highly recommend you can go to meetup groups online to, try to find or ask around for groups in your area. I know for writers, we have writer groups depending on the genre, like fiction versus women's fiction, Romance Writers of America, different like nonfiction groups. There are conferences that you can attend. So I also recommend attending some social interactions and networking gatherings. Look for events in your area that have an interest, that touch on your interests, such as, you know um, if you like to drink wine. There are even meetup groups that single people can go to eat with other people so that they don't have to sit alone. You name it. In the writing group, we have, or in the writers fold, we have conferences. They're not always locally operated, but you might um, travel to Chicago, travel to the mountains. I personally am a writer, I'm an author, and I have a writing retreat at the beach. And my idea is to like create and bring writers together and create a safe environment for more introverted type of people. It's not just for introverts, but it's a place to bring people who have the same passion together. Look for things like that. Conferences, they have, if you want to learn about social, speaking, there are groups that focus on that. um just look, try to keep your mind open and start using Google as one of your best friends and try to find out what is in your area. Sometimes you can get in the grocery store those little booklets that have upcoming events. Go to them. Even if you go alone, it's okay to go alone. It's okay to eat alone. It's okay to sit alone. It's okay to go to a movie alone. You really get to know yourself that way. It's okay to travel alone. And I highly recommend it because you don't have to have an agenda, the same agenda as somebody else that you're with. You can go do anything you want to do as long as, you're keeping alert and keeping safe. But so go to these events alone. If you have a festival downtown and you're concerned, oh gosh, I'm not going to know anybody, I don't want to go alone, because that's how you can meet people. If you've ever, let's say you've gone to a bed and breakfast and you see other couples, it's hard for them to interact with other people sometimes because they're with somebody. But if people start traveling alone, you will start attracting other people who are alone and learning the skill of being more outgoing. I just went to Seattle a day ago. I just got back, and I have developed this habit. And even though I'm more on the introverted side, I have made a point to talk to people. I talk to the people sitting next to me in the airport, the person sitting next to me if they're open to that on the plane a little bit. I mean, you don't want to dominate the conversation and talk the whole time. However, be friendly. And I would just tell people, "Oh, I'm from the East Coast." And that usually intrigued them, and they would ask me why I was in Seattle, or in Oregon. And, it just creates conversation and just smiling and being open as opposed to all closed in and avoiding and averting eye contact with people. Just go to the grocery store and practice. At least living in the South, it's easy to do because people in the cashier will talk to you. They talk all the time, and it's a whole conversation. And when I first moved here, that was something that I really had to get used to because I just wanted to kind of say, come on, get busy. Um, but I have learned the skill of just chatting with people and talking to people. That's how you get to know people. And when you open those doors, oftentimes you will find that you have things in common with them that you had no idea before you start talking to them that you knew their uncle, or you're both writers, or whatever the case may be. So just keep an open mind, and just try to go to these events on your own. I go to conferences by myself all the time, and it's usually females there. And you might have 1,500 people, and you find yourself in the same class with people. you you know you all have to sit down and eat meals together, and everybody is into networking because networking is your connection in the writing world. And it's the same like that in other careers as well. So it's about who you know and who you're getting to know, and being open and friendly. So try that. Also, you can volunteer for community events, get involved in the community. um, you know Activities not only, um, you know, they just make you feel good, and not only that, then you're helping somebody, and you're being open and receiving comments and friendships back. So that's how you start to create friendships. Now, remember, this takes a while because you're not going to just know somebody inside and out just from one visit. But the more you can do this and you start seeing the same people again at the different events, then you start to each time get to know them a little better. And you'll also notice people that you may not want to get to know, and that's okay too, because you want to pick your team. In high school, I used to, uh, our school was kind of cliquey. I had a huge school, so we all had these groups that we hung around in, but I never stayed in one group. I had maybe four groups. I would go hang out with them for a while, then these people for a while, and these people for a while. And before long, I had a whole bunch of friends. So I'm getting ready to go back home for a class reunion, and I'm excited because I kind of organized um, a, a chat online, and or maybe one of my friends did. I'm not sure, but anyway, we have about 15 girls, women, all talking to each other, and we're all going to get together beforehand when we're there and after. And it's just going to be this big group get together, and it's going to be so much fun. It is so much better when people you haven't talked to in 40 years, you can still come together and you still have things in common with them, because a lot of times if you liked them in high school, you probably still like them now, at least on the surface level. So try to volunteer and take part also in group fitness um, activities, such as going to a gym, a Zumba class. The more that you start going, and let's say you sign up for a Zumba class that's 6 classes long or whatever, by the end of that, you're going to get to know some of those people. And then from there, you can always say, hey, I have a little bit of time today. What are you doing for lunch? You want to go get a salad, down the street at wherever, or go drink some coffee. You can kind of get to know some of these people on a lighter level. In fact, I just met a friend at one of my retreats last year, and I immediately liked her, and we hit it off. And then that's who I went to Seattle to see. And we didn't know each other real well, but we had talked. I guess I had known her online for about 5 years. She was a reader of mine. And then at the retreat, we got to know each other, and she stayed longer after. So we got to know each other even better because most of the people had gone home, but she had traveled all the way from Seattle to North Carolina, and so she stayed a couple extra days, and we really got to know each other, and we had a blast. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in years, and it was so much fun. So we stayed in touch. Occasionally, we would chat on text or on Facebook Messenger or something. And then she says, "Why don't you come to Seattle?" And so I thought, wow, this could go either really well or really not well. And, because like I said, we didn't really know each other, but at the same time, I had an intuition about her, and I just knew that I really liked what I saw, and I really liked her as a person. And I could pick up on kindness. It's really important for me to hang around kind, likable people that are, you know, they care about your well-being and you care about theirs. And, stepping out of that toxic circle that maybe, when we were in high school, well, I actually had all great friends in high school too, but at times there have been people in my circle that were toxic and they're not in my circle anymore, really, or they're at bay in that circles I tell you about, my inner circle, and I have different circles and they may still be in existence in one of my circles or they may be out altogether. But you trust your intuition. If you just really feel like you hit it off with somebody, give it a chance. And I flew to Seattle and we spent 9 days together traveling in Seattle and down the coast of Oregon. And we hit it off great. We got along the entire time. And now I know her better and I really like her and I consider her in my inner circle. So that's how you start making friends as adults. So, as I said, attend local meetups and workshops, conferences, volunteer. If you're interested, I'm interested in horses. I could go volunteer at a stable. Believe me, they would love it if somebody came and volunteered to help saddle up horses for lessons or mucking out stalls and things like that. People are always looking for a friendly help. So make sure that you keep it friendly. Um, and take the initiative, be proactive because you have your life in your hands and you are in control of how you behave around other people. You are in charge of if you're more introverted, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. If you're way more extroverted, you may have to tone it back. If you're hanging around groups that are a little more calm and subdued, be kind of I'm going to say chameleon in a good way. You don't want to be a people pleaser, as I always say, and you don't want to you want to hold on to your identity and who you are, but sometimes you need to make some tone adjustments so that you're not going to disrupt a group if you come roaring in there loud and obnoxious or something and everybody's kind of quiet. But then again, you want to find people who are more like you so that you can just be yourself and you can just kick right in and you like when I went to Seattle, we were so much alike and we kind of had the same humor, the same habits. We both liked the temperature set on 69, which we actually talked about before I flew there. And so we were compatible on many levels. So trust your intuition that if you feel like you're going to really get along and hit it off with somebody, you probably will. And they can pick up on that energy as well. So stay open minded, be patient, and realize that it's going to take some time as an adult to make friends. It's not like when we were kids and you just went out on the playground and you just joined somebody on the slide or a group. It takes a little more work as an adult, but it is achievable. So keep working at it and try different things. Don't just lock onto one person. Try to be open and expand your circle and try to be friends with as many people as you can. Heck, you can make a game out of it if you want to. And you could say, I'm at this conference and I am going to meet 3 people. And, I'm going to meet 3 people that I think will fit into my circle. So you may have to talk to 20 people. You may have to talk to 30 people to find those 3 people that you had set that goal for. But I am also very goal oriented, but just trust your judgment and be kind to yourself. You don't have to be perfect. Just be yourself, be friendly, and look for the people that you just kind of hit it off with and have something in common with. And then you can even set up, hey, let's eat our meal today. Do you want to meet? I know that's kind of scary because rejection is a real thing, but the worst thing they can do is say, "No, I've already have plans," or they could say, "I already have plans, but why don't you join us?" You don't know until you try. So never be afraid to try because, if you get rejected a couple of times, you may get 10 more people who take you up on your offer. And then from there, you can, after you get this bigger friend base, then you can kind of break it down and start really finding the people that you hit with on more levels so that they can move from this circle to this circle to this circle to this circle. So I hope that helps. And if you find that this information or these tips were helpful in any way, please like and subscribe to my channel so you can see more information like this because I love helping you and helping people because that is my main goal in starting a YouTube channel. So I also love comments, like I always say. So if you find any of these tips helpful, please leave a comment so that I know that I'm on the right track and that I'm helping people because really that is why I'm doing this. So, anyway, until next time, I hope you go out there and meet a couple of new friends or even the beginning of some friendships. And I wish you the very best.